Hey, what's up, guys? TheCampingRusher here. We have massive news today. Epic is catching another W, and this time it's in the legal system. We've got some Fortnite news as well, or just general update news, but we're going to start right away with the battle. So, to catch you up, the Epic versus Google verdict is in, and Fortnite's the winner. A jury found from California that Google used its monopoly power on Android to injure Epic, turning the tables in the developer's years-long series of legal battles. And this is really one of the first wins, if the only win we've seen in Epic's lawsuits against Apple and Google. Very similar lawsuits, very similar battles, but Apple has been kicking butt so far. To catch you up, back in 2020, Epic launched an update in Fortnite. If you played at the time, you remember it, and it was like this free Fortnite campaign with a short/trailer type of thing, which was mirroring 1984 and basically calling out Apple's practices. They specifically targeted Apple with the marketing and the attack in game. And the main point that Tim Sweeney, CEO, co-founder of Epic Games, is trying to address here is Android and Apple's abusive system of taking such high cuts from developers' revenue, right? On the Apple Store, on iOS Store, a developer has to give Apple 30% of all its revenue just to be on the App Store. And there's really not other options, right? If you're on Apple, if you're on iOS, the option is iOS Store. So what do these developers have? They have no choice. And that's the point of this entire battle. So let's focus in on the Google case, and then let's talk about some of the differences with the Apple and Google case, because why has Apple still been winning against Epic, but then Epic is able to take a win against Google when it is pretty similar? And then what does this mean for mobile in Fortnite? Because keep in mind, all the success that Fortnite has had recently, especially recently, because they've had a lot of success relative, this is without any mobile. There's no big presence of players and revenue on mobile, and that is a massive market in the gaming industry. So even that on its own. So if they can get mobile back, it's just going to take this game to even bigger heights. One of the main reasons it looks like Google lost this is because the documents, the lawsuit here, it showed that Google used its monopoly power to favor certain developers, even going so far as to allow apps like Spotify to bypass Android store fees entirely. And this favoring of certain developers is what is a big no-no. I think this is one thing that really stands out compared to the Apple stuff. There's no favoring. Everyone on Apple just loses, it sounds like. Whereas with Google, there's certain companies that get special treatment. The jury didn't like that. There's another quote here. Over the course of the trial, we saw evidence that Google was willing to pay billions of dollars to stifle alternative app stores by paying developers to abandon their own store efforts and direct distribution plans, and offering highly lucrative agreements with device manufacturers in exchange for excluding competing app stores. These deals were meant to cement Google's dominance as the only app store in town, and it worked. More than 95% of apps are distributed through the Play Store on Android. Of course, Google does plan to appeal this decision, so the battle's not officially over. But one other thing I will point out that seems to be a major difference, or it is a major difference and maybe led to this result, is this Google loss was decided by a jury, whereas the Apple win was decided by a judge. So that could play a big part in this as well. What happens now is up to the judge, and we won't know that until around January. But a big question is, will Epic be able to set up its own platform on Android? And if that happens, we're going to see a flood of mobile users. And then will this influence the Apple versus Epic battle that's ongoing right now? Because there's an appeal happening for that. That's not technically over. There's one final appeal left, and it is in the queue for the Supreme Court of the United States to consider hearing. So this could help, and that's what we'll be following closely, because if that gets heard out, and then if Fortnite's able to win on some of the counts, we may see Fortnite Mobile back on all platforms, and Epic having its own platform, its own store existing here. Epic doesn't even want monetary remedies. They're not searching money. Obviously, if they get their game on the store with less of a cut to Apple and Google, they're going to make some money, but they don't directly want it from the battle. All they're looking for, and this is how they've been positioning the entire fight, because it keeps the public on their side, they're fighting for the little guy, right? They're fighting for all developers. They don't think 30% is fair. And even though I'm saying they're positioning themselves like that, we know this to be true, right? With the Epic Games Store, similar to Steam, on the Epic Games Store, there's other games that are hosted. Epic Games Store only takes 12% cut from developers, whereas Steam, I would say, is the biggest competition by far. They take 30%. So they're not only, talking the talk, they're walking the walk as well with their own company. And to finalize this discussion, and actually it's more focused on that Steam thing I just said, I want to read you a tweet again from Tim Sweeney, CEO of Epic. "We will compete, and we will also put Fortnite on any serious stores that give all developers an awesome deal. Steam, Microsoft, One Store, anyone. Give developers that deal, and we will support you. The end of these ridiculous 30% fees is near." So, Tim Sweeney, respect for fighting this for so long. Obviously, it's costed a lot of manpower and a lot of work and a lot of money, but this is a good sign. So let me know your thoughts on any of that stuff. Very interested to see where this goes, especially with regards to the Apple appeal. Okay, let's talk actual update stuff. Make sure to subscribe, by the way. Turn your noties on. I am your guy. The Fortnite times Ninja Turtles collab has 4 emotes that we do not know about yet. So bonus to already this big collab we are aware of with the 4 skins, Lego skins attached, and now even more. We also had an update to some news in yesterday's video, and that is the item shop dates. Apparently, I've heard TMNT, this collab could be December 15th. It could be December 14th, but it's sounding like one of those 2 days, so very soon. Whereas yesterday we talked about this tweet with a bunch of different dates on collabs, and this was part of the files, part of the API, but I did warn you that this could change. And now that we've seen that first one change, Ninja Turtles changing, I want to say we can't really trust any of this, right? Some might be right, some might not be. So just one update. Now that Ninja Turtles is different, the other collabs, there's a lot planned. Obviously, you can see there they could release at any time. And then here's an in-game look at the sewer lair from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab. I hadn't actually officially showed it off yet, even though it's been out for a while. So yeah, obviously a cool nod to the franchise. Fortnite Sports Mode. This came out a couple days ago, but I didn't have a spot to put it in until today, but it's a big one. Reminder that 3 years ago, Fortnite were working on basketball mini games where you can play, watch NBA games, and more. And they probably teased it with a football/soccer, depending how you refer to it, during the event we just had as well. So this might be the next big thing that they add, some type of sports mode. And at this point, they could do anything. They could honestly do anything, and I am so excited for it. The big reason this is being brought up again is because in the event there were teasers for this supposed sports mode, and actually those initial leaks and documents came from the Apple versus Epic lawsuit. So that has actually given us some leaks as well, along with obviously an interesting battle that's kind of fun and important to see where it goes as we follow it. Fortnite got a bunch of people dressed up as The Weeknd in New York Times Square to promote the Fortnite Festival mode and the Weeknd collab. The marketing, the crazy marketing continues for Epic. I am such a fan. And how are you liking Fortnite Festival? I hate to admit, I still have not played it. I had an option today. I had about an hour, and I chose to play racing mode again. The Rocket League inside of me is just having too much fun, man. I want to keep getting better at it. It's fun. It's hard. I will try the festival mode soon, though. Epic Games has once again disabled hiring NPCs in Battle Royale. So that's purposeful if you have noticed that. Now, Winterfest 2023 is expected to arrive on Thursday. In my video tomorrow, I'm going to cover everything we can expect. There's a ton to expect. We've covered bits and pieces throughout. It's going to be a good Winterfest. So again, tune in tomorrow and we'll go over everything we know. But I do want to touch on this from an interview that Epic has had recently. And it kind of goes with the sports thing we just talked about, but just also where the game is at right now in general. Here's a quote from a Epic spokesperson spokesperson. The goal is absolutely to organically have the best teams in the world in different genres develop games inside of Fortnite. As, of course, Epic has just added 3 more completely different games to Fortnite. Why wouldn't they attack this sports genre as their vision, their metaverse vision continues? So fun, so interesting to be a part of. I love this game. I love this company. Thank you guys for watching the video. Take care. Talk soon. Touch that like button. Code TheCampingRusher. Goodbye.